This episode of Lawyers Tell All is brought to you by Law Firm Conversions. If your law firm's phone is ringing, that only means your marketing is successful. It's what happens when the phone is answered that will drive your success or failure. Visit www.intakeacademy.com and claim your free copy of this groundbreaking book, along with resources on mental health for intake specialists and empathy. Plus, become eligible to receive a free 15-minute consult with Chris Mullins. Welcome to the Lawyers Tell All podcast, where Chris Mullins, the preeminent sales and communications consultant in the legal industry, shows you how it looks through lawyers' eyes. Here, innovators in the trenches provide powerful insights that help you connect with new clients, handle the sometimes harsh realities of the legal profession, and embrace the mindsets needed to succeed. Be sure to visit our website at www.lawyerstellall.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, lean in, tune in, and let's take a deep dive.
Hello, everyone. It's Chris Mullins with Lawyers Tell All, and today I'm interviewing Angela Langlotz. Did I say that right?
You did.
All
Gold
right.
star.
Awesome. So, Angela, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Angela Langlotz. I practice primarily trademark and copyright law. And I've been I've been practicing law for more than 25 years now. It feels super weird to say that because it makes me feel kind of old, but that's okay. I like to tell people that being old is definitely better than the alternative, which is being dead, right? So I practice primarily trademark and copyright law, and I have been working at home since 2006.
Awesome. So let's start with what we were chatting about a few seconds ago. Conversion. Tell us about your conversion.
Yes, you were telling me how you're a conversion specialist. And I told you, I said, my conversion metrics went up. That's a good thing, right? My conversion metrics went up when I started charging a small fee for consultations.
So tell everybody about that. Like before you were doing that, what were you doing? What were your conversions like? How did you get to that step of charging? And what does that look like now?
Yeah. So before I started charging, I was doing free consultations, because everybody does it. And so it's kind of the quote unquote expected thing. But what I found was I was attracting a lot of looky-loos and tire kickers who basically wanted to spend time pumping me for information and then go try to file their trademark application themselves. And of course, when people file their trademark application themselves, they frequently get rejected and all kinds of chaos ensues from that. So I started charging a small fee. I charged $25 for 15 minutes to talk to me. And my conversions went up by a lot. Why? Well, there are a couple of psychological factors at play here. We know that people who buy are buyers. And it doesn't matter if they buy a small thing. It's this tripwire concept. So in essence, my tripwire is the $25 that you pay me for a consultation. Now, two things happen. I know you're a buyer. So I know you're willing to spend money on legal advice. So that's thing one. Thing two is that now you show up. You show up because you paid me $25. And if you don't show up, I'm cool with that because, at the end of the month, it's like, that's my grocery money, right? Yeah. We can think of it that way. And then the other thing that shows up too is that they value your advice more because they just bought into the advice. They are paying you to give them advice. And they're telling you, Angela, I value your advice. How do I know they value my advice? Because they paid for it.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you a question, just curious. So I'm on the phone, I paid the $25 already.
Mm-hmm.
Before I show up, I paid it, right?
Right. Yeah, you have to pay to make the appointment in my system. Okay. So it gives you, it shows you the appointment calendar and you can say book. And then it says, if you want to book, here's the, the $25 charge.
Okay. So we're talking and then do you close me right then and there? after?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I will ask the prospective client, are you ready to get started on protecting this valuable brand? And if they say yes, I say, great. I already have collected their email address and their phone number. So I know how to contact them because they need to put the email address and phone number in so that, I can call them if for some reason they want a phone call instead of a video chat. And then they need to put in their real email address because that's how they get the link to the consultation.
Yeah.
So I have this contact information for them. It makes it super easy for me to follow up. And I already have that. So I don't have to ask them, what's your phone number? What's your email? It's already there.
So if I pay the $25, what could I potentially be paying next from the 25? How much?
Oh, for a trademark application,
Yeah,
it really,
right.
yeah, it really depends on the breadth of the trademark application. So I don't give pricing information until they get on the phone with me because I want them to get on the phone with me because that's where I show value. So if you're scaring your prospective clients away by, quoting big fees in advance, they're going to try to price shop you and find somebody cheaper. I just say, listen, I don't know yet because I don't know how you're using the trademark. Let's get on a call. It can be either video or phone, and let's get on a call and see how you're using the trademark. And then I can, do a quick search, suggest some things, and, we'll see if it's even available. So they have doubt about whether or not their mark is available before they get on the phone call with me. And I'm going to provide them with some relief by doing the quick search for them just to see if it's available. So I'm providing them with value that's concrete to them because now they have doubt.
Yeah. So how did this whole thing happen with becoming a trademark attorney?
It was sort of a natural outgrowth of a business and estate planning practice that I had. And that practice was a little bit stressful and it required me to be there and show up in person. And it's not that I don't like people. I do like people. I just prefer not to have to, drive through bad weather and traffic to show up at an office. So this type of practice lends itself very well to, working at home or working remote or what have you, because most of the filings, all of the filings are done online. And my clients are busy business owners. They don't really want to come to an office and sit down and meet with somebody face to face in, physically. I love meeting my clients over Zoom meetings like we're doing right now. So I have a really great video conference platform and I love meeting my clients and I want them to see me and see that I'm a real person because if they hire me, this is what they're getting. This is me. And a lot of people do hire me because of the video marketing that I've done. So they sort of know me before they call my office.
Right.
So they are predisposed to like me. That's why they're calling me in the first place is because they probably saw a video that I did. They liked it. They decided, I like Angela and I'd like to work with her. And that's why they call me. So I really like, meeting people on a video chat. And I want to build that bond with them.
Yeah. So what would you say some of the biggest lessons are that you learned so far?
In my law practice?
Yeah.
Well, there are lots of great lessons. One of the best things is that, the new technology that we have, especially video, is super effective for getting clients and building relationships with clients and keeping relationships with clients because it gives them an opportunity to see you the way you are, and it gives you an opportunity to talk with them. I use video a lot in my trademark practice. I use it for all kinds of things. I might send a client a video, a screencast video and tell them, okay, I need you to make these changes to your website before we file your trademark application. And that's great because I can tell them, I call it show and tell, right? So I can put the cursor on exactly what I want them to change and explain to them how it needs to look. And then it's really easy for the client to share that link with their web developer and say, okay, please watch this from our trademark attorney. She's going to tell you exactly the changes that you need to make. So it's a great way to both build rapport with your client and also shorten explanation times and spend less time on the phone trying to explain, things that really can't be explained. They need to be shown.
But like, what about lessons when you had the first kind of, you had a practice with estate planning?
Yeah, I did estate planning for, about 7 years before I changed to trademark law. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy having to show up in an office. That's estate planning is sort of a face-to-face kind of thing. So I switched to trademark and copyright law, and I like it a lot better. But what are some lessons I learned there? Well,
so mostly like what I'm talking is like lessons with, okay, like you would tell other attorneys. So when you're trying to decide what kind of practice to go into, or if you go into it and you're trying to think, okay, this isn't for me, how to get out of it, like
right,
that kind of thing.
Oh, sure. I think you really need to understand your personality and what you enjoy doing. If you enjoy fighting with other people all day long, maybe family law or personal injury law is for you, right? If you're like me and you're like, I really don't want to waste my life doing that, no shade to the personal attorneys and family law attorneys out there. It's just not something I want to do. If you don't want that kind of practice, then go do something else. Go do something else that suits your personality better. Because I think everybody's different. Everybody has a different thing that they want to do all day. And I like teaching. Okay, that's why I make my videos. I like teaching. I like explaining things. That's another reason why I like doing videos. And I like helping my clients. So I consider myself more of, somebody, I tell my clients, my job is to keep you out of the courtroom. Some people really like being in the courtroom. I don't.
Yeah, right. What would be some of the warning signs that you would get in a practice when you're in your law firm, when it starts to feel like this might not be the kind of practice I want?
Yeah, when you start really hating aspects of it, like the commute, I absolutely hated my commute. And I said, how can I avoid having to do this every day? So if there are parts of your practice that you hate, just figure out a way to change your practice area of focus or hire somebody who likes to do those things. But for goodness sake, don't wake up every morning and think that you have to keep doing that thing that you hate, because you're going to end up hating your life, not just that part of your life, but it's going to bleed into everything else. I think that's one reason why lawyers have high rates of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, suicide, that sort of thing. And I'm not just guessing at that. That is a fact. And we've all read about that. There's a reason why we're all required to, take drug and alcohol abuse awareness education as attorneys every year for our continuing legal education credits, right? It's because it's a problem that permeates the legal profession. And instead of, keeping your chin up and just, this whole, well, suck it up, you don't have to like it attitude, you don't have to like it, and you don't have to continue doing it. So if there's some area of practice or some aspect of your law practice that you're really, really hating, get some support from your fellow attorneys. Maybe ask them, I'm really hating this. How can I not do this anymore? And there are so many ways that you can not do that anymore,
Right. Well, but when you're in the middle of it, you don't feel that way.
No, you don't. You really feel like, okay, I have to keep doing this. If I don't, and you start, I call it I can't even say the word. Catastrophizing. That's not the word. That's the wrong word. But catastrophizing, I don't even know if that's really a word. But you start acting like if you stop doing the thing that you hate, that, the roof is going to cave in. And it's not true. You can change your law practice, or you can hire somebody who actually likes doing the thing that you hate doing. You can get a partner. You can start focusing on another area of practice, but we don't have to be unhappy as lawyers, and we shouldn't be unhappy because we're just not our best and most effective selves when we hate our work.
Yeah. What were some of the stressful signs that started affecting you when you were doing what you didn't want to do?
I mean, mostly for me, it was the commute. And I just absolutely hated driving in all kinds of weird weather. I was living in Nevada at the time, and I had to drive through this valley that just sometimes got, absolutely horrific wind so bad that they would stop the trucks from going through because they didn't want the trucks to blow over. It was also an area that flooded a lot, had, bad weather, snowstorms, things like that. And the commute was just eating up hours of my day, literally. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I switched my practice area because I didn't want the commute anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm much happier.
Yeah. Well, you seem happier. Well, I can't say happier, but you seem happy. Like it's coming, your energy is coming right through. But
yeah.
How did you decide to go into trademark? Like, how did that all happen?
Yeah, it was a decision that was pretty easy. I was married at the time to a patent attorney, and he said, why don't you handle the trademark practice, right? So I did. He actually, when we divorced years later, he actually told me, oh, I could have had a paralegal doing everything that you were doing. But you didn't, did you? You asked me to do it.
Right. And now you have your practice.
Right. Exactly.
What else would you like everybody to know about you, your practice, being a lawyer?
One of the things that I've done that's made my practice a lot easier and more streamlined is I said to myself, okay, anything that I do more than once, I'm going to systematize. So I have a whole system that when I need to draft an email, I've already drafted that email a bazillion times. But the second time I drafted it, I was like, this needs to be a template. So I have a system and some tools that mesh with Google Mail, because that's what I use to run my law practice. I use a lot of Google products because I can store everything in the cloud and I don't need to worry about losing everything. So I decided, okay, if I think I'm going to ever write this email again, it's going into a template. So I use a lot of tools like that to help me with sort of the repetitive aspects of my practice. And it also helps me provide better quality representation to my clients because I only have to write the email once and it has everything that I need to tell them. I don't need to worry that, oh gosh, I forgot to tell the client that, So everything that the client needs to know at that stage is already in the email. And I just, fill in the parts that aren't common to every client. And I like doing that because it allows me to provide the best quality information to my client without having to remember everything that I need to tell a client. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and I briefly touched on this, the power of using video to communicate with your clients. My clients love getting video messages from me. Why? Because they like seeing you on camera. We're naturally drawn to the human face. So they like that a lot. And I feel like I'm better at explaining things verbally than I am writing a long email. So it's easier for me too, because I just turn on the camera and talk. And then I send the client an email saying, hey, I wanted to explain this to you. So I made this video for you just for you. And they like that. They like it a lot. And then I have this system that allows me to see when the video has been watched and how many times. So that's good for me from a malpractice standpoint. Like I can prove, and I can also I also make a transcript of the video if the video is really important and it's something that might cause a malpractice issue later. I want to make sure that I have a record of having told the client X, Y, and Z. Then I can have that transcribed and I put it into the client file. So it allows me to provide a personalized experience for my client that I can both track and memorialize in the client file.
Yeah, I'm talking to my clients a lot about doing video for intake. So when Mrs. Smith calls because of her car accident or whatever it is, she gets the option of being able to see you.
Yeah,
Just hear
super
you.
important.
And just make it really quick and easy and text the link and that's it.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, people love video. People love being able to see you. They can see your body language. They can hear, they can see your face. They can hear the inflection in your voice. That means a lot, especially since so much of our communication is nonverbal. And sometimes, certain people are super sensitive about things that they read, and they may read it in a wrong tone that you didn't intend. Yeah. I can't control what's going on in their head, right? So it's easier for me to make a quick video and say, okay, here's what I need you to know. And, please contact me if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to call.
What are you using? What format are you using for video? How are you sending the videos to?
I have a tool called SendSpark. It was one of those things that I bought on a lifetime deal at AppSumo. I don't recommend going to AppSumo. You'll spend all your money buying tools at AppSumo.
SendSpark?
Sorry, SendSpark. Yeah. So, I use that. And like I said, it allows me to see when the client has viewed the video, where they viewed the video from, on what device, what date, time, how much of it they watched. I can see if they watched the whole thing. I can see how many times they watched it. It gives me a whole bunch of metrics that are really useful to me. And then I can download that, right? So I can download it and prove that they watched it. And I do that.
Now, when you send it, you're sending it via email?
Yeah. So the SendSpark system allows you to either paste a link or an animated GIF thumbnail. So I like that a lot because it provides some visual interest for them.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Really, really good. Let's see. I'm just taking a look at some other questions here that you have. What are your top strategies about growing a successful law firm?
Okay. Video. Video marketing. I love video marketing. It's super easy to create videos. I hate video editing. So remember how I was telling you, we all need to figure out how to get rid of the parts that we hate. So I hate video editing. So I started running my videos live. So I ran them live to Facebook or to YouTube, and people really like live video because it's really authentic. I haven't edited anything out. It's just streaming live, and people can see that it's streaming live. So it's really a what you see is what you get thing. And it also frees me up from the necessity of editing. I can't edit it. It's already out there live, right? So I don't need to edit it. And people are a lot more forgiving of your mistakes when they know it's live. So
that's a really good point. That's a really good.
Yeah. So I have a video channel on YouTube. That was kind of redundant, right? YouTube's all video. So I have a channel on YouTube with over 500 videos on it. And that's part of I call it the soup, the marketing soup. So it's hooked up into my, Google business account. So Google, who owns YouTube, can see that I'm producing content regularly. I repurpose that content as blog posts. And I can also run those videos live on Facebook or Instagram or any of those platforms. So it's really easy to repurpose video content. And that's one reason why I like it so much.
Yeah, I love the word repurpose. I love repurpose.
Because you can take a transcript and now that's a foundation for a blog post.
Yeah, or a book.
And then or a book, and then you can embed the YouTube video into the blog post as well.
Yeah, I love repurposing. Okay, so the last question I have for you, and anything that you want everybody else to know, just let them know, is what would you say the most popular client is that you have? type of trademark?
Yeah, most of my clients sell things online. So I'm known for that. Most of my clients sell, coaching, those sorts of services, educational programs. I have some clients that are both brick and mortar and online. I represent a spy store. So they have an online shop and also a brick and mortar, but most of my clients sell stuff online in some form or fashion.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Anything else that you'd like everybody to know about you and your business?
Well, if they would like to find me or talk to me, they can reach out to me. My website is trademarkdoctor.net. And I'm also on Facebook and all the socials as Trademark Doctor.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. It's been great.
So long, everybody. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Lawyers Tell All, where Chris Mullins takes you on a journey with lawyers in the trenches who show you the realities of what it takes to succeed in this chaotic, crowded, ever-changing profession. Remember to visit our website at www.lawyerstellall.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on Lawyers Tell All.